My eyes haven't improved for a month. I am stuck at this plateau. Hi, I'm Gemily, an EndMyopia student. I'm following Jake Steiner's EndMyopia method to get back to 20/20 vision and life without glasses. It's all based on science, not magic, and if you are interested, I'll pop some links in the description down below. So, as you might have known, if you've been following my progress for a little while now, my left eye is kind of not catching up. I started with a correction of -2.5 in my right eye and -3 in my left eye. That is a 0.5 diopter difference between my eyes. Along the way of improving, I've already managed to make a 0.25 diopter, so a quarter of a diopter improvement in that gap. I am now sitting at -1.75 in my right eye and -2 in my left eye. So that is now only a 0.25 diopter gap, not the 0.5 diopter gap that I started with. So I have managed to equalize a bit, but now I'm up to trying to equalize the final step so that I can proceed with the EndMyopia method as I approach my final diopter with equalized eyes. And I have to say, I'm finding this equalizing step really tricky. I already tried dropping my left eye to -1.75 to match my right eye, but what I found happened was my right eye just did all the work. My left eye kind of just didn't bother registering. So things would look like they were clear and like I had managed to clear up all the blur and my vision was perfectly well adapted to seeing out of -1.75 glasses all the time. But when I covered my right eye, things were still blurry. It's just that the vision, the messages from my left eye weren't really being included in my brain into my overall picture that I was seeing. So in order to try and fix that, I've gone back up so that I'm now wearing -2 correction in my left eye again, and I thought this would make the difference. And maybe it has made some difference. Maybe it has. Maybe it's just a matter of patience now. Probably it's just a matter of patience now. But I've been looking at my logbook. I've just taken my measurements in my eyes today, and I'm not feeling super encouraged. It's been a month and I haven't made any progress at all. The reason I say that maybe it is working and it's just patience is that when I changed my correction in my left eye to -1.75, my centimeter measurements actually went down. So my vision got worse. I didn't know whether to put this down to just, today I'm tired, today it's winter, it's not very sunny, today I've been doing too much close-up work, or whether my measurements were actually dropping. I still don't know. But since I've changed back to -2 correction, the measurements have been going up, but only a tiny bit and not so much that I can say I'm definitely improving. Maybe it's just a good day. Maybe it's just more sunny. Maybe I haven't been doing as much close-up. But nonetheless, looking at these numbers, my vision has not improved, in the centimeters to blur measurement anyway, in a month. And considering I was tracking along quite nicely before, it's a disappointing thing to see this, and what am I doing wrong? It was working before. Why isn't it working now? Actually, I feel like it is still working for my right eye. I feel like the reason my right eye measurements have not been improving is because they're being held back by wearing the 1.75 correction. Most of the time when I look at my Snellen chart, if I just check with my right eye only, I can read the 2020 line easy, absolutely clear. I can read the 2015 line, and I feel like I would be able to read the 2010 line if it were bigger. Like, I don't feel that it's blur stopping me from reading at 2010. It just gets too small. So I feel like my right eye would be very happy to move along to a -1.5. Very happy. And so I feel like wearing the -1.75 correction for my right eye is kind of keeping it on a leash. I'm stopping it from running too far ahead. Perhaps if I did drop my right eye to -1.5, it would introduce more of a blur horizon to match my left eye's blur horizon, and then maybe they would continue progressing together. But I've already worked quite hard at getting the gap between my two eyes down to just a quarter of a diopter. I don't really want to take it back to half a diopter because I feel like that's just delaying the inevitable. I'm not gonna lie though, it is tempting to just let my right eye go for it Because imagine if my right eye could just keep going and it could get to minus 1.5, minus 1, minus 0.5. Like, oh my gosh, imagine what I could see unaided. That would be so exciting. And I kind of am like, well, who needs a left eye anyway? But I want to do this right. Jake says to wait for your non-dominant eye to catch up, so wait, I will. As much as it requires patience and discipline and things that are less than fun, less than exciting. The thing that makes it really tempting is that when I don't have my glasses on and I look at the world outside my window, I can get it quite clear. When I cover my right eye, it's still quite blurry. When I cover my left eye, I get a little taste of what clarity might look like. The difference between -2 and -1.75 is a whole world. And I'm so excited to let this right eye see better and better because, oh my gosh, I can almost taste it. So a month of no gains, I've decided it's time to step it up a level. If something's not working, then I need to reassess my habits. Maybe I was doing something differently before. Maybe there's a good habit that I've let slip that I need to reintroduce that was making a big difference. So I've had a little bit of a look at things I might do differently. Now, firstly, I just want to register that it is winter here, and winter is famous for slowing progress down. I've mentioned before, I didn't really expect winter to be a problem for me because I live in Australia. We get loads of sunshine. It doesn't get that ridiculously cold. But people have reported winter being difficult, and even though you can expect to improve about a diopter a year, that progress isn't equal throughout the whole year. People tend to make big gains in summer and maybe stagnate in winter. So there's nothing really wrong with my progress. It's just that I'm equalizing and it's not working and it's stressing me out, which doesn't help. No, don't stress out. Stress not good. Okay. I just don't feel like the winter here is enough of a reason to stop me. So here's what I'm going to do about it. Firstly, I've started patching, not just at the computer screen, but when I go for my walks, and I'm going to continue doing that. I'm also going to make sure that I get outside more often. So it's been cold, I haven't wanted to go out, so I've kind of just stayed in and tried to not have too much screen time from inside. Whereas before I was getting like 3-hour walks in, maybe 2 hours if I didn't have 3 hours to spare, but definitely walks. So I think I need to start doing that again. I think I just really need to brace myself for the cold and step outside into it. And really prioritize getting out there again, especially as things at work pick up again after all the lockdown, to not let that take away my time of walking. Let that take away my time on my computer or watching TV. Let it take away other time, not my walking time. 3, I'm gonna try and set aside some serious active focus time. I generally don't have a set amount of time when I sit around active focusing. I just try and build it into my day. When I'm going for walks, I try and active focus as I go. I try to active focus when I'm eating my meals and looking out the window, listening to a podcast or an audiobook or something. I try and active focus when I'm on my computer, sitting at the edge of Blur. I try and just build it into my day. And I try to make it that every time it comes into my head, I just check in with myself. Am I using my best vision? Let's pay a bit more attention to what you see. But I think I might try and put in a few more sessions of intentional active focus, of just looking at something and trying to fuse it, trying to bring clarity to it. Maybe 20 minutes twice a day, nothing outrageous, but just give it a bit more of my attention. And 4, I'm gonna start taking a lot more care of my dry eyes. Winter is really awful for dry eyes because sitting under the heating, like, ugh. Also spending so much time inside this artificially heated environment, not outside in the natural air, it doesn't help. I've already spoken in a previous video how I use a hot cloth every evening on my eyelids just to help keep everything working. But that's more of a maintenance approach. So I think I might step it up a little bit to a more proactive rehabilitation-y approach. So that would be making sure that the cloth that I'm using is at 45 degrees and using it for 10 minutes at a time, twice a day. So it'll take a little bit of time, a little bit of intention, a little bit of effort. But if that's what it takes to get my vision improvement happening again, then small price to pay. Also, my eyes will love me for it. And the fact that if you have dry eyes and your glands in your eye aren't secreting the oil that they're meant to secrete, if they get clogged up and stay clogged up for too long, they can stop functioning permanently. So if it's not really happening for me right now, there's like a lot of reasons to actually take care, not just so I can see more centimeters now. 5, I'm going to pay more attention to my sleep. Sleep is so important for so many functions of the body. It's pretty much like foundation number 1. If your sleep isn't right, other things are not going to be right. So I need to make sure that I'm having enough sleep, I'm going to bed early enough, I'm not wasting hours in the dark on my computer screen, which is the worst anyway. So yes, make sure I'm going to bed on time. This is, of course, all on top of my regular good habits for my eyes. So making sure that if I am working on a screen, I take regular breaks. Plus also, during lockdown, I changed back to my smartphone just because I was using so many apps and things to communicate and keep contact with my social life and my work life and all those things. But now lockdown has really eased where I'm living. We have no cases down here that are recorded, and I live on an island, so pretty good for border restrictions. But because lockdown has eased so much lately, I have no excuse to stay using my smartphone. Any excuse I think I have to still be using my smartphone now is an addict excuse. So I've moved back to my Nokia flip phone. Yes, here we are, it is time. Haha! Hello? So I'm going to be really focusing on these things this week. I'm going to be keeping them at the front of my mind and reporting back to you next week to see whether I feel that there's been any changes whatsoever. So if you want to see whether any of these things that I'm going to do actually have an effect on pushing through this plateau, remember to subscribe so you don't miss my videos. And the following week, there'll be a video about dry eyes. So if that's a problem that you have, you might also like to subscribe so you don't miss that as well. All right, so that's all from me. Please do also remember to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps me out. It lets YouTube know that these videos are worth watching. And also hit that bell button down there to be notified whenever I post new content, which is every single Thursday. So I will see you next week. Bye! Ah. What's the point of a flip phone if it doesn't flip? I'm the least cool person ever. I don't have any pockets because I'm a lady, and the powers that be decided we don't need pockets. Am I right?